Visit us at Eduvvo. Thank you for calling Eduvvo.
Alright guys, so in this lecture we are going to be creating a first landing page or like first page with Elementor, a full-fledged page which is going to be very beautiful, and we are going to be creating it very quickly over here. So we are going to be sticking with the old rule, which is going to be the 3 colors rule with the additional color of the CTA over here, and then the font colors and the fonts over here too. So let's just quickly say that for this landing page we'll be creating a travel website. So let's say if you wanted to offer any sort of like travel packages and so on, so let's jump onto that only. So for this I'll be using some colors. Let's say for sea green I'll be using, which is basically the color for the text. I'll be using the black color, white color, and so on for this, and the additional color is going to be yellow. Fonts which I'm going to be using are going to be all these 2 colors only, which is first is this Times New Roman, and let's check this one up. So this is Alto Edge. All right, perfect guys. So let's just quickly remove this, and first things first, we need a hero banner. So when I say like hero banner over here, it is the first banner which you see on the top, which defines your website and which defines your product or like your services. So for that I'll be using a single column over here, and for this I'll be needing some text here. So for this let me quickly add a heading, and I'm going to change this from the typography in the style part, the font of that. So I'm going to be using Times New Roman. Perfect. So now what we're going to do is let's align it in the middle. We are going to change the text. So let's say want to travel Europe. Let's increase the size of that. So for increasing the size, you just need to go to the style from the content by just clicking onto this widget up from here, and then over here in this typography just click onto this size icon and box, just scroll this one up, drag it to how much the big font you wanted up over here. Once you're done with this, we'll be needing additional text, which is going to be the text editor, a small text over here, and then style, and then alignment to it. Once done, I'm just going to be using some default text here just to show it up over here, how to design it. So now once you see it, now you have to decide it how much big banner you want it up over here. So for me, what I'm going to do is I'm going to be clicking onto this section up, and I'll go to this advanced. So now in this advanced one, you can see that we have the padding option. So in this padding, what I'm going to do over here is I'm going to use at least 100 as the padding in the top. So now you can see once I add the 100 on the top as the padding. So padding is basically the spacing up over here. So the same space I need to add below also. So now you can see, but still it is not that much wide. So in that case, what I can do is I can make it 200. And the same thing I can also make the top as 200. Once done, and once you're satisfied with the size of your banner, you just need to go to the next phase. So what I'm going to do over here is I'll be using a background for that. So if I'm going to show it to you, and if I'm going to add an image directly over here, it's not going to work. Or if I'm going to add it up over here, so it is going to be shown over here like this, but it's not going to come as a background behind this text. So in that case, what needs to be done over here is, this is a very advanced way to do that. So just click onto this edit section and then just go to style. So again, I'm showing it to you. Just click onto this edit section and navigate to style over here. Now here you can see that we have background type. So here just click onto the classic. Before going to the classic, we have to explore more options like we have gradient, we have video, we have slideshow and all. We are going to explore each and every options over here, possible ones. So first things first, you can change the color. If you wanted to change something like this, you can do that. But what I'm going to do over here is I'm going to be using an image as a background. So now you can see we have the option to add image in the background in this particular section. So what it is going to do is it's not going to place the image right below or like right above of this text. It is going to place the image just right behind it and as a background of the section over here. So I already have few of the images which are totally was installed when I was installing this starter template and this template up. So just select this one up, or you can also upload any sort of more things. So let's just quickly do one thing. Let's just quickly install any other image here. So let's say beach, or let's search for like Europe. So now you can see this, that we have a lot of like images which are like very dynamic in colors and are very beautifully presented up over here. So I'm going to go with the first image here. Again, I'm going to take the size as medium. Okay, let's go forward for this. Let's download this one up. Once you have downloaded this, just go back to your Elementor and then just upload it up over here. You can either drag and drop this over here like this, or you can just directly click onto the select files and then just directly add the image here. Once done guys, you just need to click onto the insert media, and this is how your background is going to look like. So now what exactly is wrong with this and why it is not looking that much elegant right now? It is looking good, but we can make it look very beautiful right now. So how to do that? So in order to do that, and in order to accomplish each and everything, first of all we need to see that all of our text has a very good coverage. So in that case, we just need to do little adjustments by just clicking onto this section and going to the advanced. So now what we're going to do is we are going to use it 100, and the below we are going to make it as 300 like this. So this is how it is going to look like. You can see this. But now you can see this, that the image is not going from left to right. Again, the image is going to repeat over here. Why is this happening? This is because the size of the image is like not fully customizable. Like you can see this, this is 1280 by 881. But the width of this page is going to be pretty much bigger than that. So in that case, you do not have to download or like resize these images. All you got to do is just go back and click onto this section, go to style, and you will see that where you have already added and uploaded the image, you have the option as size. Just use it as a cover and you're good to go with it. Now we can see that we have the cover up and nothing is repeating and everything is going in a single go over here. So now right now the image is not going pretty much upfront over here. So what we're going to do is we are going to see the position of this image also, the background. So what we can do is we can make it center. So this is how it is going to look like. But again, the text is not going to be that much visible. So here you will have like multiple options to work with. Either you can make it like let's say bottom center first, or like top center like this, but still again the coverage issue will begin up. So eventually you will have to increase the size of this. But what we are going to do over here is we are just going to make it as center, as we wanted to highlight the location also over here. And then we are going to go to this background overlay. You can directly see that we have an option as background overlay. So now what exactly is this background overlay? Overlay is simply a layer which comes up on something or like another object, which makes it go indulge, or it makes it go mix with the another object in that. So let's suppose if you are just going to put a layer, a white layer just right on top of this, so it is going to give a very blunt feel and a very good feel to it. And so let me show it to you quickly first. So just quickly go and click onto this background type and go to the classic one. So here in the classic you can see that we have the colors. Just choose the color like this. Now you can see that the text is also getting pretty much visible up over here and everything is looking pretty much good. Now the opacity, you can totally make it like this or whatever you want. I'll use something like this. So this is how the banner is going to look like. So now if you feels like it is not giving that much sharp look and so on, so you can also quickly turn down the opacity and make it go in the normal way. You just need to do a lot of experiment in order to get the best look out of your website. So now let's quickly see what can be done. So we'll go to the advanced and we'll make it to like 400 like this, and this also let's make it to go like 200. Now let's just see if we can adjust the image now, maybe like top center, let's see to it. You can also see the top left and so on. Since it is perfectly aligned, so we can only go forward for the top or forward for the bottom over here. Once this is done, this is how it is going to look like. So now there is one more simple way to do that. In order to do very specific and very customized way over here, just make these paddings go 0. Just make all these paddings go to 0 to default. Now if you still remember that we have a spacer which we use to add space in between the widgets. Also this can be used to add spaces on the top and also at the bottom also. So what can be done over here is just add 2 spaces one after another and then just try adding it like this. So this is how it is going to look like. If you need to add another one, so you can also do that. Second thing is you can also click again on the section, this one, blue one, where we have added the image, and then you can again go to this size and you can try another things too. So let's say contain, but it's on a smaller size, so that's why it is looking like this. So let's go back to cover. Okay, all right. So this is how your banner is going to look like. So once you are satisfied with your banner and all, you can either also change the size of these text and all too. So let me quickly make it a little bit more bigger, and I'm going to divide it into 2 lines. So you can directly click over here and then you can press enter, or like return if you're using a Mac, like this. So this is how it is going to look like over here. So once you're satisfied with your proper banner, you can also experiment within like multiple images and so on. So there is one more option which I wanted to show it to you. So if you do not want it to use this image, you can either use a gradient. So gradient is something which consists of 2 colors and which gives a very good feel on that. So let's suppose we need to use something like greenish color. Let's say something like this, sea green. So this is how it is going to look like over here. But if you wanted to use like multiple images as a slideshow, you have the option up over here. So in that case, you can select multiple images. So I'm going to go forward for 3 images up over here. Not these, as these are not in same size. One, we are going to use this, and second this. Let's see the size of this. This is good. This is not good. This is also fine. Okay, think that's enough. So 3 will be fine. Just click on to create a new gallery and it is going to be added like this. So once you're going to insert that, it is going to play on a slideshow basis like this over here. So you just need to wait and see that how it is going to turn out to be a slideshow here. That is going to be basically a carousel in that, a slideshow. Or you can also see in easy language a slider here. So once you're done with that, if you are satisfied with this, that's fine. But if you want, you can also enhance it more. So you can go forward for a video too. So for using a video, we are just going to go forward for the YouTube, and we are going to go forward over here and search like Europe. So let's specifically use any of the European countries too. So I'll go forward for Berlin, just for the sake. So you can see that this is a very good video over here, but this has a copyright in it. So what you need to do over here is just go to the filter options, and then you can search for Creative Commons, this one. Once you filter that one up, you just need to find a good video here which you can totally use there. Okay, I'll go forward for this one. So I'll just quickly open this, and I'm going to copy the URL, copy this one up, and go back to your website Elementor and just paste the link over here. Once you paste the link, you just need to add the start time. So I'm going to add 200 seconds, and I'm going to use 220 seconds for instance, and time for that. And I'm going to use it for like privacy mode. Okay, all right, let's see to it. So this is how, guys, you can easily add the videos on a website too, just to make it look more effective and more amazing over here. If you're satisfied with it, then totally it's fine with that. You can jump on to the next section. What I'm going to do is I'm not going to use a image, a video. I'm just going to use an image to show up over here. So let me quickly go on with this one. Again, same thing. So now what you need to do is you just need to do a framing of that. First of all, just create a blueprint that where exactly you want what kind of element. So let's say you can add a banner over here, upfront over here in the first part. Then you can take the help of multiple columns. So let's say we are going to use the two structure column over here, and we are going to make some options here. So let's say image will work, and then a headline will work. So let's say I'm going to add it up over here like Berlin 2 packages, and I'm going to add a button also over here. Perfect, which is directly in the yellow color as expected. Starting from $200. Just for instance, I'm just writing all these stuffs up. Now you just need to add an image in that. So I'm going to add this particular image just for the instance. That's fine. So now you can see that we have another section over here, like this package part here, right? So now what you can do is, instead of adding multiple things again and again over here, either you can duplicate all of these elements and then just drag and drop it up over here. Or according to me, what I always do is I duplicate the column, not the section. I'm not talking about the section over here. I'm talking about the column over here. So once you go and click onto the column, right click on the column, you can directly duplicate this. Once you duplicate this, you can directly click on to right click and then just delete the existing column over here. So now again one more duplicate. So now we have 3 columns up over here within the 3 packages. So here you can see that you can now directly change the images. So I'm going to change the image now for this one, for this, and for this I'm going to change it to another thing. This will work perfect. So now you can easily be able to change the text. So let's say here I'm going to add, let's say, I know this is not the image of the Paris, but just for showing it up, just for showing for the purpose for it, I'm just adding some random images and random text just to show it up that how we can design the websites easily and beautifully on that. So always try to play with multiple columns and multiple elements over here. Once done, you can again change the costing for it. So I'm going to make it to like $300. Same thing I'm going to make it and use it over here. So this thing I'm going to add as Spain, and the package is going to be around 400 just for instance, and this works perfectly fine. So this is what we have created so far, a perfect banner, and then the 3 styling part for it. So now as you can already see that there is something missing. So there is a simple rule: whenever you divide a column, you need to have a divider in that. or you need to have a lot of space in that too. So either what you can do is, either you can add another section with another heading over here saying explore our packages, like this. We can increase the size by going on to the typography, something like this. And then what you can do is, you can either add a spacer over here, and this is how it is going to look like. So now we can see that it is perfectly making sense that why we need to add and use the spacing and the spacer over here. Spacer will be your best friend, so please try to use as much as spacer you can over here, as it is going to give you very bold and very perfect feel onto it altogether. Either what you can do is, just for making it more look good, I'm going to use another section. So I'm going to be adding one single section. Okay, so I'll do one thing, I'll add 4 section part over here, these 4 section part. Now what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to add multiple images or like icons over here. So let's say I'm going to add an icon, and I'm going to add a text just right below that. So let's say 2000 plus travelers. I'm going to change this as, let's say, bag. No, plain we can use something like this, or maybe like this works well. You can change the color of that. So what I'm going to do over here is, I need to define this particular line. So that's why we need to have a divider between those. So this proper 4 section is going to act as the divider. So what I'm going to do over here is, I'm just going to change the color of the background. So the color of the background, you can just directly use it. You can use it as black, you can use it as any other color too. So let's say if you're using it something like this, maybe. Perfect. So now just change the color of all these things up. So I'm just going to go to the style and change the color of these icons and change the color of the text also. I'm also going to reduce the size of this, as it's not going to look good if it is pretty much huge in that. Everything needs to be perfectly aligned. Even the size of this icon needs to be aligned like this. And the text needs to go to white in color. So the same thing, I'm just going to the style for changing up any font or any of the color in the typography, and text color is also available over here. That's fine. So all you got to do right now is just go and duplicate and delete the next one. Duplicate it, delete the next one, delete it, and then just duplicate it. So the reason why I'm duplicating all these stuffs are because I need to use like multiple things. So I will going to have to add a lot of time in that if I'm going to do it manually. So that's why that's a quick and easy way to duplicate all these elements, or duplicate all of these columns to get the best out of it and to save a lot of time in that. So right now I'm just going to put some random parts here. So let's go forward for maybe, let's go forward for this, and let's go forward for this, the last one. So now we can clearly see that this is looking pretty much good. All you got to do right now is just add some spacing. So just order to add some spacing, just click onto the section up and go to the advanced. Here in the paddings, you can add some of the spacing here and some of the spacing at the bottom. So little spaces are going to make a lot of good feel up over here. So once you're done, this is what we have done so far over here, and it looks pretty much good. So now next what you can do is, you can always experiment between all of these sections and the structures. I personally use either the 2 structure, or either use only the 1 section structure, or the 1 column structure over here. So now what you can do over here is, you can use and add the video. So let's say if you're going to add the video here, and we are going to add the heading also over here. So for the heading, I'm just going to add explore why you should travel with us, and I'm just going to make this look go bold, something like this. We can add the spacing part here, so the padding will work. Let's say 50, or maybe like we'll go forward for 60. Bottom also is 60. So this is going to give you another section here. So now you can see we do not want anything to stick with each other. So in this way, we are also going to add spacing in this particular section also. At the bottom, we are just going to add some space and padding. So let's say in the bottom, we are just going to add 40 maybe, or maybe like 50. Think that will work. All right. So now what you can do is you can experiment with like different colors. So here you can already see that we have used this color. So we are going to stick to that only because that's the color rule for it. Never experiment and never use like multiple colors, because it is also going to give you very low profile feel in that. So we need to keep it very simple, elegant and classy in order to make it work. So now we are just going to copy this color. So if you haven't seen, what I have done is I just went to the section, and this color which we have used as background, I have just copied this hex code. So this code is known as the hex code. You just need to copy this one up so that you can use the exact same color in other sections also. So here I'm just going to go again to the style background. I'm just going to add this color over here. Once done, now you can change the color of your text like this. And also what you can do is there is one more thing to beautify it. So you can go to this style, or maybe like advanced. You will find the option of border of this one. Border, either you are going to get it up in the advanced section or in the style. That is going to depend upon from visit to visit over here. So once you go to the border, just feel free to add a solid border onto it. And I'm going to use 5 as the thickness from side to side. And the color of this border, I'm just going to make it as white. All right, so now for the content part, I'm just going to hide this. I'm going to mute this. That's it. I'm just going to autoplay this and loop this. That's it. So now you can see this. This is how the section is looking right now. So you can add your own videos over here. You can create your videos, or you can get the videos from like YouTube, or like even you can get the videos from Unsplash. There are a lot of like videos over here too. You can see that if you're going to go to upper part, so you can also explore the videos. So you can easily be able to use any of these videos, as these are totally non-copyrighted videos and images, which can be used on any of the website or any of the commercial content in that. So once we are done with this, we can simultaneously add multiple sections up, and we can add multiple more things up over here. So first of all, we just need to update this, and then we can just directly add another section. So here you can add one section if you want to. So what I personally do is I play with like a single section, then like multi-section, then single section, then multi-section, then again a 2-section part, then a single section part. So you can experiment with a lot of things up over here, depending upon what you need to be doing over here. So now in this one also, either you can use a next headline here. So again, same thing. So I'll just write, give us a call. So I'm just going to add some random number. Just for instance, I'm just going to use 0000 just for showing it up. And then you can add any sort of your code, whatever it is, your country code, and then you can make it more bigger. Something like this will work. Spacing part, either you can do the padding part, or you can always take the help of the spacer, which is the most easiest part you can use. Here you can reduce the spacing from left to right. So this is 26. Either you can use by dragging another spacer from here to at the bottom, or what you can do is just to get the exact same setting, just duplicate this and then just drag and drop it up over here like this. So this is how it is going to look like. And then you can always use your divider, and then you can optimize it. Reduce the width of that. Even you can increase the weight of it just to make it look more bold. So I'm going to use the yellow color over here for the instance, like this. So this is what we have created so far over here. So in this way you can extend any of the other widgets or like any of the other columns over here. If you feels like you have like a lot of like this text which is in a bigger size, you can make it go smaller. Then you can experiment with making it going from like this to this, and then try to increase the size, then see what exactly is looking good and what exactly is not looking good in that. So guys, this is how you can easily be able to create any sort of like web pages with the help of all these free features. And you can see that this is looking pretty much premium in case in this sense over here for the travel website. So in the next lecture guys, we are going to see the more advanced versions for it, that how we can also improve it more effectively and more efficiently in order to make it look more bold and more classy and more creative. So alright guys, and then see you guys in the next session.
If you are looking for teaching stuff, education stuff, programming series, application, and Android development, coding skills, marketing skills, presentation skills, stay connected by subscribing. Thank you for calling Eduvvo.